there guys, it's Saz, and welcome back to Retro Wednesdays. Today we're looking at Mick and Mack, the global gladiators. No points for guessing what product they're trying to promote with this game, but here we go. This is the preamble to all of it, as if you hadn't guessed already. So two kids are talking in a McDonald's about how awesome this comic book is.
You did it! Yeah!
All of a sudden, a paedophile turns up and,
ready?
without asking, throws them into the comic book. Now, with all these games, I was trying to point out how much it sounds like they really can't be arsed
Are you ready?
at Virgin Publishing. So, let's have a look at the options, because obviously I'm going to put it on easy because this game is punishing enough as it is. And you can choose to either play as Mick or Mack. Your choice. Only difference is, one of them is black, one of them is white. That is the only difference. Their model is identical, so it's lazy enough as it is. Obviously, being the pasty skinned ghoul of the night that I am, I'm going to be playing as Mack, because I think he's the white one if I remember rightly, and that's the only difference between the two. We'll come back to this later, because here's something I want to show you, because it's just ridiculous.
Are you ready?
So let's start the game, shall we?
Yeah.
You're skeletally transported into this world. You are armed with a super soaker. I'm not kidding. The product placement in this is even worse than Cool Spot. And it's full of what I can only assume is Big Mac sauce. And you are tasked with collecting M's. And unlike lots of platformers in the 90s, but in a very similar vein to Cool Spot, you have to collect a certain number of these, in this case 50, to even be able to exit the level. Now, there were some really good platformers in the 90s, like, I don't know, let's see, Sonic the Hedgehog, just going by the console that I'm on, the Genesis. And this is not one of them. I'm not afraid to warn you, this is not one of them. The platforming is clumsy at best. Take this moment for example. You can't tell whether or not you're safe to jump off here, and in 99% of the time you're not.
Awesome.
Your health bar is represented by that annoying little arrow under your score. Now, the instinct of most gamers would be, okay, that's my progress bar, that shows how far I've got through the level. Nope, that's your health. And apparently Big Mac sauce is the enemy of all this. And yes, you are fighting slime. Reason being, because this game suffers from what I like to call Ted Turner syndrome. In that it was released about the same time that Captain Planet was on TV, and I watched a hell of a lot of that show, by the way. And, as such, felt it had to have an environmental message. But having an environmental message when you're sponsored and developed by McDonald's is... it's kind of contradiction in itself. Because you're squirting slime with slime. And if anyone knows my stance on fighting fire with fire, you will know how stupid that is. Once again, another leap of faith, which is very, very irritating. Because you just can't tell whether or not it's safe to land, and 99% of the time it's not. Because that happens. You land on an enemy and you take damage. You never had this in Sonic the Hedgehog, because that could have been dangerous if I had landed in that green gloop down there. Collect a checkpoint just to keep me on the right track. And it's just bad. Momentum, unlike Sonic, going back to the good one, is out of the window completely. I mean, this game is to physics as I am to the Olympics. I mean, another leap of faith. These are all through the levels, by the way, and you always near enough take damage. But the good news is I'm only going to get 3 more of these annoying little mms. Okay, 1 more and I'm done. Those invisible platforms, I am not kidding, are everywhere. And it's really irritating because you can't tell when one's going to spawn or when one's just going to go, you know what, I'm going to take a day off today. Anyway, this is the end of the level. More product placements. And you're tasked with collecting even more M's as your M total steadily declines. Slime World 2 is a brown version of the original green version. Really creative design there, people. And I don't know about you, but I find this music incredibly annoying. I mean, I know back in the day you couldn't get like huge orchestral scores, but you could do a lot better than a few seconds on a loop. Fortunately, some of the levels do have different music, but the last level doesn't have any. It's literally all the music that's in the game crammed into a single level, and it is a clusterfuck of sound. And that's what I mean by, like, the platforming is clumsy. He doesn't even run down the ramp, he just kind of skips around. I love the fact when you die it says careful, because it's hard to be careful when you're being thrown around like a rag doll and your gun fires you backwards. I mean, I don't know if they understand anything about physics, but equal and opposite reaction, please. If I'm being thrown backwards, so should the enemy. Not that it takes more than 1 hit to kill them, but, you know. And that's an extra life for me. Very fucked. That is just bad. If your platformer can't even do platforming right, stop making a platformer. And I think when they designed the bonus level, they did stop making a platformer, and we will show you that just because it's so monumentally stupid. I mean, I don't even see how this gun could do any damage. The projectiles float in mid-air like someone's just sneezed. I can't, damn. Seriously? I don't know what this game is going for, but at the moment it looks like it's going for my throat. Well, let's see how far we can get through this level without failing miserably. Seriously! I don't even know what happened there. I just watched as things collapsed around me. Right, trying again. From what I saw, I hit a mushroom. Oh no, I didn't. I hit one of these chamber pots, which work like the springs from Sonic, but just not as well. That clock, that extra time, is there purely to dick you over. Because it knows you're going to jump for it, and it knows it's going to kill you in the process. Floaty projectiles away. Just die, snot monsters. Ow. Oh, hello. There's floating platforms there. Does that mean, yes, more pointless air platforming? Okay. I swear I hit the end of that platform and fell through it. I shall have to watch this back to make sure I did, but that's just one more of the laundry list of complaints I have regarding this game. I've got a feeling this is going to get my usual recommendation. If you want to collect the games, collect it, don't play it. Because I'm suffering through it, and that's enough for the world, I think. I mean, who creates a sludge crow? I mean, what nightmare did the people behind this have to make them think, you know what would be great? A crow made of sludge. And Leap of Faith gameplay comes back. It's hard to even tell what these animals are supposed to be half the time. I mean, God knows what that thing is that looks like someone sneezed it out and it's just spitting at you. I mean, that's pretty obvious. It's a wall-climbing eye made of sludge. But that thing looks like... I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a turd. That thing looked like a dog. I'm honestly astounded by how bad the designs are in this. I mean, when they're thought of the enemies, they just think, like, what do people not like? Well, I've got a pretty bad cold. I don't like that much. Okay, we'll just, well, just blow your nose. We'll design whatever comes out on the tissue. That'll do it. Also, these kids scream at anything. That was deliberate, by the way, because I couldn't figure out how to get back. Up over here, I guess. And then up, and Leap of Faith. And just keep jumping up. And hopefully the way will be guided to me by the fairies. The only thing I can say in this game's defense, really, is if you die, you don't have to fight the same enemies you've already killed. If they're gone, they're gone. Which is probably the only positive thing I have to say about this title. It is bad. Those things hurt you even after they die because they explode and all their innards kill you. However, since I'm on my last life, I can show you something kind of interesting about the game. Not that, but that happens every time you pause. But if I enter the code for an extra life... it actually acknowledges I'm cheating. Which you kind of have to in order to finish the damn thing, but, you know, complaints and all. And once again, Ronald McDonald is here to act as random product placement in a game that really doesn't need him. They could have just used Ted Turner and had the same effect. And once again, we're back in Slime World. There are other levels. One of them's a city, one of them's a forest. But you spend so long going through the Slime World that most people would be confused into thinking that this is the only level. It's not, and there's all sorts of different variants on garbage in this thing. I noticed they abandoned brown as soon as they realised, wait a minute, green snot looks better. Another problem I have with this, the collecting of the M's. Not so much the fact you have to collect them, or the fact you have to collect them in this obtusely bad platformer. But at least in other games where you had to collect them, like, I don't know, Sonic with his rings, Cool Spot with his spots, they were big, they were obvious, you could find them easily. With this, most of the M's are the same colour as the background. And most of them are very, well, all of them are very, very small. So collecting enough of them to actually access the bonus stage, the total there is 75. becomes increasingly difficult if you've already got all the big clusters of them. Because again, unlike, say, Cool Spot, where it was a linear progression and there was you go past one lot, there's another set together. A lot of these are just on their own. I mean, this is a bad example because there's two of them, but I'm sure you've seen other levels, and I'm sure we'll see in this one. At times, there's just one like that. So collecting 75 of them when they aren't even all, like, even close to being together is a bad idea. Got another one just on its own. And guarded by snot monsters. Sludge Crow. And can I point out the Sludge Crow sound effect is the only close to actually sounding like what it's supposed to sound effect. And here we have a lot of these M's all clustered together. If they were all like that, or all in lines or something, then at least you'd have a halfway decent platformer. But, well, halfway decent collection system for a platformer. But no, it's just a case of, oh, we'll just stick with one. Because apparently the letter M is very hard to render. And speaking of hard to render, this is on the Genesis. This is the 16-bit version. This is also on the Master System, which is 8-bits. So, combine really bad platforming with awful leap of faith gameplay and collectibles that you have to collect on their own because there's no other way to do it, with 8-bit blocky graphics. And I am so glad I got this on the Genesis, because if I'd have had this on the Master System, I would have killed myself after about 5 minutes of play. Because I believe my actual answer would have been, what the hell is this shit, and put it down. And also, why do they meow sometimes when you jump? Hang on, let me kill all these, and I'll show you what I mean. It's not going to do it now. And that's it. There we are, last life used. Oh, I forgot, you always get one continue coin. That's not good, but anyway. Like I said, this game is just bad. There are very few redeeming qualities. I mean, apart from the fact that it actually acknowledges you're cheating and has a slight sense of humour about it. I honestly can't think of that much to say about it. It's an environmental message which could have easily been done differently. And did they really need to involve McDonald's all that much? I don't think so, but it's littered with it. It's basically like saying, let's see, McDonald's and Super Soaker both wanted product placements in a game. I know, let's make a game where we fill a Super Soaker with Big Mac sauce and have them fight garbage. But kids won't buy that. Yes, they will. But if we go back to the main menu for a second, I will show you what the bonus game is. And to be honest, I think the bonus game is where is more of a game. So let's just take us back to the menu.
Virgin.
Yeah, Virgin really could not be arsed with this.
Are you?
Right, obviously I'm going to play as Mac because I am a pasty ghoul of the night and I don't want to misrepresent any of my audience. So let's have a look at the bonus game. Thankfully you can practice it from the options because it's so hard to get into. So if you are lucky enough to get it, good luck. Now I think it's also affected by difficulty, so let's put it back on the same difficulty I was playing on. And practice bonus game. Move Mick or Mack left or right to catch the falling garbage consisting of paper, bottles and cans. Position your kid in front of the correct bin and press A, B or C to throw the piece of garbage into the bin you are carrying into that bin. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. The bins are marked to show what type of garbage should be recycled in each. See, environmental message, cramming it down our throat much. Only one piece of garbage can be carried at once. The level ends when a single piece of garbage comes to rest upon the ground and and the Native American turns around and cries. Oh yeah, watch out for the anvils, because Looney Tunes were popular then too. Right, as you can see, it's basically dash around and throw things into the respective recycling bins. This is actually more entertaining than the main game.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
And getting into this in the game is hard. Very bogus. That is how easily the minigame ends. But I would much rather play that for 3 hours than even attempt to finish this game. Don't get me wrong, I have finished it, and it ends rather unusually. You face the boss, which, ironically enough, is snow. Yeah, that's it. The boss is a face in the side of a mountain covered in snow. And then you're magically teleported back to McDonald's and reunited with your friend and paedophile. So yes, what can I say about Mick and Mack, the Global Gladiators? If you're thinking of playing it, don't. And seriously guys, if you want an environmental message, how's about recycle all the cartridges of this game? Because that probably has a lot of plastic in there, and there's a lot of paper on those labels, so just take out your cartridge, recycle the game, and hopefully it will get made into something productive. Like, I don't know, a Coke bottle. I've been Starless. This game has annoyed me yet again.
Are you ready?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Cool. Are you ready?